What if your life could be different? What if the thing you do for fun could also be the thing that pays your bills? Most of us have a dream tucked away somewhere. It's that little spark we feel when we are lost in a hobby. Maybe it's the quiet joy of kneading dough, or the thrill of solving a complex puzzle. Perhaps it's the peace that comes from tending to a small garden. We often think of these passions as escapes from our real lives. They are the things we do after work. But what if they could be our work? Meet Sarah Chen. For years, her life was a predictable rhythm of spreadsheets and meetings at a corporate marketing firm. The work was stable, but it didn't feed her soul. Her real joy happened in the evenings and on weekends, in the warm, fragrant world of her small kitchen. Sarah was a baker, not by trade, but by heart. She found therapy in the precise science of measuring flour and the magic of yeast. Her friends and family raved about her sourdough bread, her delicate pastries, and her decadent cakes. The journey from hobbyist to professional baker was not a smooth rise like a perfect loaf of bread. It was full of hurdles that tested Sarah's resolve. The first major challenge was space and logistics. Her home kitchen, once a cozy escape, became a bottleneck. The single residential oven could only bake a few loaves at a time, creating a constant backlog of orders. Then came the financial fears. Quitting her stable marketing job felt like jumping off a cliff without a parachute. She spent countless nights hunched over spreadsheets, not for her employer but for herself. Now let's step into a different world, the world of code. Meet David Kim, a man who felt trapped in the gears of a large logistics company. His job involved endless paperwork, repetitive data entry, and a feeling of being a small, replaceable cog in a giant machine. To escape the monotony, David found solace in the logical, creative world of programming. In his free time, he would lose himself for hours, learning Python and JavaScript through online tutorials and passion projects. He created a simple app to organize his digital comic book collection. David's path from hobbyist coder to freelance developer was anything but a straight line. His first major obstacle was what many in the tech world call imposter syndrome. He was surrounded by a culture that idolized university degrees from prestigious institutions and years of experience at big-name tech companies. The second challenge was the steep and never-ending learning curve of technology. To stay relevant, David had to commit to being a lifelong student. It was a constant race to keep up, and there were many moments when he felt overwhelmed by the sheer volume of information. Our final story takes us to a small apartment in a bustling city where Maria Flores found her peace. Overwhelmed by the noise and stress of her job as a paralegal, Maria transformed her tiny concrete balcony into a lush green oasis. It started with a single pot of basil. Then came tomatoes, peppers, and a cascade of flowering vines. But her balcony was visible from the street, and it began to attract attention. Neighbors would stop and stare, amazed at the vibrant jungle she had cultivated in such a small space. They would ask for advice. How do you get your tomatoes so red? Maria's journey from balcony enthusiast to small business owner was filled with its own unique set of challenges. Her first and most persistent problem was scale. Assembling her urban bloom kits on her living room floor was manageable when she was selling 10. But as orders grew, her small apartment was completely overrun. Next, she had to contend with the unpredictable nature of, well, nature. One season, her favorite seed supplier had a crop failure, forcing her to scramble to find a new source that met her standards. For Sarah, David, and Maria, there wasn't a single dramatic moment when everything changed. Instead, there was a turning point, a period of transition where their side hustle began to feel like a viable career. For Sarah the baker, it came 6 months after she started selling from her Instagram account. She received an email from a local coffee shop owner who had tasted her croissants at a friend's party. He wanted to place a standing order for 24 pastries, every single day. It allowed her to rent a small space in a shared commercial kitchen, finally moving the business out of her apartment. For David the coder, the turning point was less about a single client and more about a shift in his own mindset. The final push came when he landed a 6-month contract to build a custom management system for a mid-sized construction company. He walked into his boss's office, not with fear, but with a sense of profound freedom. The stories of Sarah, David, and Maria are not tales of superheroes. They are stories of ordinary people who made an extraordinary choice. They chose to honor the quiet passion that lived inside them. Look at your own life. What is your sourdough bread? Your line of code? Your balcony garden? What is the activity that makes you feel most alive, most yourself? It doesn't have to be a grand or impressive skill. The path won't be easy. There will be doubts. There will be setbacks. But as we've seen, every big success is built on a foundation of small, manageable steps. Start with one step. Register a domain name. Post one photo on Instagram. Sell one item at a local market. Talk to one person about your idea. Today is August 9th, 2025. What will your life look like 1 year from now? 2 years? 5? The future is an unwritten story, and you hold the pen. The spark is already there, waiting in the everyday moments of joy that you might be taking for granted. Don't let it fade. Nurture it. Protect it. Give it room to grow. Your adventure is waiting. It's your turn to answer the call. What will you build?